Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray for a number of things. So, I've obviously made a number of friends over the last few months. Pray that I have time to make connections. Pray for my art projects with the Legos. Pray for my job at the community college. Pray that I get a chance to leave the Phoenix area during the summertime. I'm thinking at least half of the summer. And pray for good health for Mary Curry's granddaughter Helene. I recently started contacting her. Pray that she gets to live to be at least the half-life of polonium 209. Polonium actually has a longer-lived isotope 209. It's a little bit less well known. It's got a half-life of over 100 years, but you know what? It actually might be even more scary than the polonium 210 because it sometimes decays and gives off antimatter, right? Polonium 210 is just alpha. You can shield that, right? Okay, and to understand how I got into this predicament, we gotta go back 6 months ago. What was going on? I had long COVID during a heat wave, and nobody taking care of me. And I vowed to meet the right person so that I could have a life partner, not a romantic or a sexual partner, but a life partner. And I didn't know how to go about it at the time. You got to remember, I was eternally frustrated at the time, and anytime I got any sort of person that I got to interact with, I messed it up because I was terminally frustrated. Right? You can think of if you've ever replaced a laptop computer that was badly infested with viruses, or you had an intractable case of COVID or cancer. I basically had the dating equivalent of terminal cancer, right? I didn't know. Everything that I touched that was dating material, I blew up, and so I desperately needed some help with that. Now, I had a friend at church who was willing to help me, and it has turned very well. And we both benefited from. Right now, he's doing very well because I convinced him to roll over some of his Roth IRA into precious metal mining stocks. So he's doing really well with that. I don't think he bought into the strategic metals though. He just has whatever I gave him. Other than that, I don't think he bought into that. I have the REMX, which hasn't been doing. I actually bought more during the last dip. So he helped set me up on a blind date, and I started to feel that healing process. That was the equivalent of, here's how I like to think of it. The blind date that my friend at church set me up with was the equivalent of chemotherapy. Once I had it, I was able to go out and mingle with more people. That was the equivalent of a healthy lifestyle, right? Chemo first, get it under control, healthy lifestyle, and that's how I met the possibly my life partner, along with a lot of friends. So that's good. Now the problem is that you got to remember why I wanted that life partner, right? The COVID and all that. But now I have no time to spend with my future life partner. Both of us are working wacky hours, and we've seen each other 3 times over the course of almost 2 months now. And I don't want to repeat what happened when I was in Taiwan. Part of the reason that my conversations with the girl in Taiwan have kind of fizzled out is that we haven't seen each other. I've been talking to her about maybe we should go out together when I get to Taiwan, but I haven't decided on when to get to Taiwan, right? I kind of want to line up a few other events, right? My grandmother on my mother's side is still alive. I'm hoping to get a conference in there as well. And so it's up in the air, and I don't know what my teaching schedule is like. I don't want to repeat that same mistake with the girl that I met here in Phoenix. And unfortunately, neither of us has time. We both need our jobs, right? And so I've been praying hard every day, multiple times a day, in fact, almost every hour when I get frustrated with my Lego art projects, that I hit it big with Lego, get it on the shelves at Walmart, and make $10 million. Now, what would I do if I started making 6 figures a year off of the Lego project? Now, the answer that you're thinking is probably not what I would do. I probably wouldn't quit my job. So it's hard to say, but a lot of options would open up. right? Certainly, I probably would have all of my household chores taken care of. I could eat out every meal. That would free up a lot of time in its own right. Even if I do nothing about my job, right? I could live closer to campus, have a walking commute to campus, have all of my meals ready. Even that would save me a ton of time alone, without having to touch anything about my job, right? So that's not bad either. And so it's a jumbo jam uh, uh, of predicaments, right? First, I needed that life partner. I was so heartbroken that I basically had dating cancer, right? And then finally, I have a time management cancer now, right? And it's just a jumble mess of stuff. And it makes me want to fuck my life, right? And hopefully, when I get to Taiwan for a short vacation, I'll uh, I'll look into pivoting my career there. Taiwan definitely has a little bit better culture. See, here in the United States, we have this weird work culture where people are defined by their work, right? In Taiwan, work is more like a means to an end, right? People actually like to live, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.